We're kicking off with AEW, and when Bryan Danielson debuted, it came over 5 years after he was forced to retire in WWE due to neck issues, and Bryan's health has come under scrutiny ever since. In a recent interview aired on AEW's YouTube channel, Danielson revealed that AEW doctor Doc Sampson advised him against wrestling until AEW All In, and we now know more about this. Fightful Select reports that this advice was not part of a storyline, but due to a genuine medical restriction due to concerns about Danielson's health ahead of AEW's biggest annual event. AEW sources confirmed that Danielson has been dealing with physical issues, which is expected given his long and intense career, and this had led to changes in original plans. While the plan was always for Danielson to headline All In, these health concerns have led to modifications in his involvement in certain events leading up to the Wembley show. It's unclear what exactly has changed due to Danielson's health, but we do know that his contract will expire within days on August 1st, but there's plans for him to continue with AEW. Several dates are planned for Danielson after this Thursday, including his match at All In, and it is believed he will transition to a part-time in-ring role soon. It's been suggested that he could possibly step back from active competition altogether after his current role concludes, but if so, Danielson would likely still have a role backstage. Despite the challenges regarding his health, Danielson remains highly regarded within AEW, both as an in-ring performer and as a contributor to creative decisions. Danielson's presence backstage is valued, and his experience continues to be a significant asset to the company, and expect that to continue no matter his future in the ring. Right now, we are mere weeks away from AEW returning to Wembley Stadium for their biggest event of the year, but could an even bigger event be heading to the UK in the near future? Last week, London Mayor Sadiq Khan met with Triple H and Nick Khan to discuss a WrestleMania, which would be a two-night show, given the trend we've seen since 2021. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, AEW's Thunder Rosa weighed in on WWE discussing a UK WrestleMania now, and suggested WWE is targeting the market AEW is already targeting. Rosa didn't seem mad at WWE for going to the UK mere weeks ahead of All In, and described it as very interesting, before adding that the game is on and that this is Capitalism 101. Several WWE names have come out in favor of a UK WrestleMania, with John Cena sharing his support at Money in the Bank 2023, and Cody Rhodes agreeing at a live event earlier this year. As WWE's UK PLEs and All In have shown, the UK is a thriving hotbed of fans, and what do you make of WWE's tactics ahead of AEW All In too? Let us know down below. In recent years, few WWE ideas have captured the intrigue of fans quite like the Wyatt Six, as the faction continues to be a topic of interest even without competing in the ring. On social media, the Wyatt Six has uploaded a cryptic message as well as a set of coordinates, these leading to a place in Poland called Nur, which is run backwards. As for tonight's Raw, it's expected that another VHS tape will be presented, giving insight into another member of the faction like we've seen with Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, and Eric Rowan. Speaking of Cross, she has since shared her creepy video to her Twitter account, and we may already know who will be focused via a VHS on tonight's Raw broadcast. Ahead of the show, Dexter took to his Instagram account and uploaded a photo of the original Mercy the Buzzard from the Firefly Funhouse, leaving fans to believe he will be next. Regardless, we will have to wait and see whether Lumis will be the subject for the next VHS tape on the July 29th edition of Monday Night Raw. As his theme song suggests, all you need to do to summon Joe Hendry is to say his name, and that certainly proved to be the case last weekend at an NXT live event. During the event in Davenport, Florida, Hendry's name was uttered by Gallus, who has had their issues with the TNA star as of late, and sure enough, Hendry appeared, to the shock of fans. Not only did Hendry appear, but he teamed with Javon Evans and Shiloh Hill to face Gallus, but on this night, it was the heels who got the victory. Hendry's next NXT appearance will come tomorrow night during the first week of the Great American Bash, where he'll perform a special concert that is sure to entertain. If Hendry's previous concerts in TNA are anything to go by, this will be a hysterical segment, and don't be surprised if Gallus are mocked through the power of music by Joe Hendry. But what do you make of Hendry appearing at the NXT live event? Are you excited to see more of the TNA viral star in the gold brand? Let us know down in the comments. Over the past week, reports have run rife about the future of MVP and Bobby Lashley, as it had been believed that they will be ending their time with WWE in the near future. At Josh Barnett's BloodSport 11 event, MVP addressed those reports with a surprise appearance following Barnett's victory over Bad Luck Tito. MVP began by addressing his friendship with Barnett, then confirmed that the contract with the company who I won't mention, aka WWE, is about to expire and that I'm not going back. Though his WWE career is ending, MVP isn't ready to retire and challenged Barnett to a fight at a future Bloodsport event, and Josh was more than happy to accept the challenge. Not only that, but Barnett said Bloodsport is the land where the Hurt Business cashes the most checks, seemingly a nod to MVP's Hurt Business alum becoming a free agent. Both MVP and Lashley have legit fighting experience, which would be useful in the work-shoot world of Bloodsport, and expect to see MVP, and possibly the Almighty, at an event very soon. While MVP surprised fans with his appearance at Bloodsport 11, there was plenty of announced WWE talent in the latest example of the company working with a smaller promotion. In fact, not only was WWE represented, but Shayna Baszler headlined the night with a hard-fought victory over Japanese star Miyu Yamashita. Baszler is now 2-0 in Bloodsport after besting TNA's Masha Slamovich earlier this year, but she wasn't the only WWE superstar in action. Brutus and Julius Creed put their training by Chad Gable to good use, as the duo won singles fights against Tom Lawler and Matt Makowski, respectively. Charlie Dempsey did not have the same luck though, as the NXT superstar tapped out to Royce Isaacs at Bloodsport 11, putting the No Quarter Catch crew members' record to 1-1. Once again, WWE has worked with another promotion to great effect, and what do you make of these fights, as well as MVP's shocking appearance? Let us know down in the comments. Since returning to WWE in late 2023, Kairi Sane has been aligned with the heel Damage Control, but the former women's champion got quite the ovation from the fans last week. Sane was among the Japanese superstars who returned home for WWE's Tour of Japan, and on the second night, Sane pulled double duty by competing twice on the night. Kairi was part of an 8-woman tag that saw Damage Control and Tiffany Stratton lose to Bayley, Miko Satomura, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair, but Sane also had a title match on the night. The Pirate Princess took on Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, and though she didn't win the gold, Sane earned a standing ovation from the fans in Tokyo. Sane's return to Japan may not have gone as she'd hoped, but the fans greatly appreciated all she did, and odds are she won't forget the reception she received last weekend in Tokyo. Over to ROH, which held its latest set of tapings at the Esports Arena in Arlington, Texas last night, and the tapings marked the return of one of AEW's top stars. During the tapings, Sammy Guevara made his return to assist Dustin Rhodes in a confrontation with members of the Dark Order, specifically Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. After helping Rhodes fend off the Dark Order, Guevara extended his hand in a show of respect, and Dustin accepted the handshake, marking a significant shift in attitude for the returning star. Guevara has been absent from television since the February 24th episode of AEW Collision, where he lost a no disqualification match to Powerhouse Hobbs. Sammy had been suspended for going against protocol during a match with Jeff Hardy, though the charismatic Enigma has since left AEW and is now a part of TNA Wrestling. As for Guevara, it appears he'll be a face from here on in, and we'll have to see what else is in store for the former TNT champion following his appearance at the ROH taping. On the July 20th edition of AEW Collision, Hologram made his much-anticipated debut with a victory over Gringo Loco, and the Masked Luchador was also victorious on last week's show. For the July 27th episode, Hologram faced the Beast Mortos and secured his second consecutive win by hitting Mortos with a crucifix powerbomb. After the match, Hologram had a touching moment with his boss, Tony Khan, as the AEW president gave him a hug to celebrate his performance before going to the back together. It's been reported that those in AEW have been pleased with Hologram so far, and that there are more visually striking elements set to be introduced to the character going forward. AEW is making a concerned effort with Hologram, who is being portrayed by a former AAA star, and we'll have to wait to see what's to come for him from Tony Khan after last week's show. We've got some movie news now, as The Rock is a Hollywood A-lister with a series of major roles to his name, and now the megastar has finished filming The Smashing Machine. While filming of the project isn't done just yet, The Rock's scenes as UFC fighter Mark Kerr are in the can, and this comes at an interesting time for WWE's final boss. After all, it was on the post-WrestleMania Raw where The Rock said that he'd returned to WWE after dealing with some business and made it clear he was returning for Cody Rhodes. With filming complete, fans have been left wondering when Rock will return and whether a comeback as soon as SummerSlam could be in store for the Brahma Bull. Having The Rock return on WWE's second biggest event would certainly be huge, and do you expect to see the final boss this weekend in Cleveland? Let us know below. In late 2021, after some concerning behavior at a live event, WWE demanded that Jeff Hardy enter rehab, but he denied, claiming he was not on any substances. This led to WWE releasing Jeff only to try and win him back and keep him from AEW in 2022, when a drug test revealed that Hardy was being honest and had not been on anything. As part of their efforts to win back Jeff, WWE offered him a Hall of Fame induction, though that didn't work and Jeff would reunite with his brother Matt in AEW not long after. During a recent edition of Busted Open Radio, Hardy recalled turning down the offer and shared the exact conditions he needs for a Hall of Fame induction to happen. He said, "When I denied it the first time, I didn't feel right going in there without Matt. I mean, I cried after that phone call. I was just thinking about all the really cool moments I've given to the pro wrestling world. I'm so proud of it, but it didn't feel right at all. So I just wanted to wait. If I did do this, I'm definitely doing that with Matt, you know? It'll be the Hardy Boys thing. I just want one ring. I don't want two rings." While Jeff has certainly done enough to warrant both a solo and tag team induction, he's not interested in being recognized for his accolades away from his older brother. Right now, Jeff and Matt are in TNA, though Jeff was recently written off TV. And do you think one more WWE run should happen before Jeff calls it a day in the ring? Sound off down below. During San Diego Comic-Con, WWE and Mattel revealed a ton of upcoming action figures, and for Zoe Stark, she will soon have her very own plastic recreation. During a panel that also included CM Punk, Stark came face to tiny face with her action figure, and the Raw superstar struggled to hold back her emotions. Stark admitted that she was feeling emotional and added that having a wrestling figure of herself means a lot, and as she tried to fight back her tears, received an embrace from Punk. For many wrestlers, they will have dreamed of making it to a level where they are immortalized in plastic, and for Zoe Stark, her years of hard work has made that dream a reality. In WWE and AEW, Mercedes Moné has hardly been shy about her success, which has seen her win titles in both companies and even headline WrestleMania. There are some, though, who feel that Moné's bragging is not just a character, but crosses a line into the real world, and now a former WWE personality has chimed in. Speaking on Reffin' It Up, Jonathan Coachman criticized Moné, suggesting that she failed to live up to her self-proclaimed arrogance during her WWE tenure. Coachman implied that Moné's behavior and claims about perks in AEW, including a private jet and creative control, may be exaggerated, and questioned why she'd receive such privileges. Coach implied that if Tony Khan really gave her those perks, it reflects poorly on him, and criticized Moné's promo skills, saying she's being outperformed by wrestlers like Britt Baker. According to Coachman, Moné's inability to back up her confidence with strong performances is a key reason why she didn't succeed in WWE, despite her many title reigns and notable feuds. He went even further, saying that Moné is now being exposed in AEW because her weekly promos are not being well received by fans. On Instagram this week, a fan of Moné said the CEO's current hairstyle reminds her of Sasha Banks, saying, "I miss that wrestler," to which Moné herself responded, "No you don't." When the fan said that AEW is trash with ex-WWE wrestlers, Moné quipped back, asking what WWE is filled with, given that many talent in WWE started their careers outside the company. Moné didn't hold back with her comments, and we imagine that Jonathan Coachman will see this as another example of Moné's supposed poor attitude. The coach has had plenty to say, but what do you think? Are fans booing Moné in AEW because she's a heel character, or is there more to it than that? Sound off in the comments below. It was on last week's Dynamite that MJF threw the AEW International Championship and introduced the American Championship, saying it represents the only country that matters. It has since been confirmed that MJF will defend the title in Mexico for CMLL, and now the scumbag is bringing his Star-Spangled Strap to the United Kingdom. At a recent Rev Pro event, MJF appeared in a video and shared that he'll face Michael Oku at the Summer Sizzle show on August 11th that'll take place in York Hall in Bethnal Green in London. MJF didn't hold back, saying he hates Oku given that Will Ospreay has said he respects the wrestler and called the UK the worst country in the world and even a third world country. MJF is going to be busy as the AEW American Champion in the coming months, and what do you make of this character for him? Share your thoughts in the comments section. More from AEW now, as the show marked the AEW debut of MXM, consisting of former WWE superstars Mason Madden and Mansoor. After being victorious in their ROH debut, MXM were ready to continue their winning ways in AEW, but those plans quickly soured when the models stepped in the ring with FTR. Despite a spirited effort from Madden and Mansoor, FTR secured the victory in the latest step by the pair in their goal to regain the AEW World Tag Team Championships from the Young Bucks. This week, Giulia will make an announcement at an event for Marigold Wrestling, and it's hardly a surprise many believe this announcement will relate to WWE. After all, Giulia's name has been tied to WWE for months now, with many reports stating she's already been factored into plans for NXT after appearing at Stand and Deliver in April. On Wrestling Observer Radio, it was stated that Marigold has been told Giulia will be finishing her time by the end of August and that she's already under contract with WWE. It was added that Giulia's announcement will confirm that she is joining WWE and will share the date of her last Marigold match, and it was reiterated that she will be joining NXT. Giulia has already hinted at wanting to face Io Sky in WWE, while her name was brought up during a recent episode of NXT by reigning women's champion Roxanne Perez. But what do you think Giulia's first feud in WWE should look like? Would it be too soon to rush her into a women's title program? Let us know your take down in the comments. We've got some unfortunate news to report now, as WWE Hall of Famer Abdullah the Butcher is in the hospital, where he's been dealing with an intestinal issue. Abdullah has been in for nearly a week now, and this has raised questions as to whether he'll be able to attend The Gathering, a fan event he is slated to appear at that'll take place this weekend. This is unfortunately the latest setback for Abdullah, who set up a GoFundMe last year to seek financial help after facing significant financial difficulties, and he thankfully got the help he needed. Abdullah entertained and horrified fans for years with his level of violence in the ring, but now he's the one who needs help, and we're wishing him our very best at this difficult time. And we're ending with Australia's Delta, who has reportedly signed with WWE after attending a tryout in Perth in February, and now Delta has given a sign that this is the case. On social media, Delta bid farewell to Riot City Wrestling, indicating that she's wrestled for the company for the last time and was grateful for the support of fans. With Delta wrapping her time with one of Australia's biggest promotions, all signs point to a WWE arrival, as she is set to become the latest in a series of high-profile female signings.